Welcome everyone to my ePortfolio for today. I'm going to walk you through an online site that I made for my electronic portfolio. Just going to be a rundown of a little bit about myself, who I am, the age I am, how I ended up in the course I'm in AIT, some of the modules I do there, what the modules consist of, and then I'm going to bring you through some of the contact information if you want to contact me. So the first page we'll see on my site is please make a selection from the list above. Now this is a list above in the menus. We're going to select Jesse. Now this will bring you to my home page. My home page is going to have an avatar version of myself. It's going to have a little bit about me. So my name is Jesse Garn. I'm currently studying a bachelor's in computer engineering, my first year at college at AIT. I'll bring you a little bit more into depth about the modules on the lists above. I'm currently 19 studying this course. I decided to do the course mainly based on when I was younger, I used to play a lot of video games, and it kind of intrigued me as to how the electronic side of it worked. And I really wanted to know how the consoles were doing, what they were doing, computers, etc. So it led me into a sub course before college where I did some systems and so on. Um, and then it led me into some employment in the area of IT. And then I joined college in Athlone IT. Here you will find a curriculum vitae. This is a CV that I have personally made for myself. You can download it here. It'll come up with a little download link at the bottom for you, and you can have a look through it for yourself. This is my copyright area. The copyright area basically states that all the written and textual material that's on the site is the property of me. I'm the one that created all the text on there. It's not copy and pasted, etc. And the some of the images on the site, there's two or three of them that are mine. I'll point them out as we go, and some of them aren't, and I have them linked to their appropriate sites. Down here, you can subscribe to the blog, keep an eye on it, whatever changes I make in the future. So the first thing we can select is the modules, and this will be a drop-down menu of all the modules that I do in my course. First of all, we have networks. In networks, we basically focus around the IoT devices, a lot about switches, routers, and how to connect them all up. Make sure they're connected properly, of course. The wireless networks allows a business, especially, to run a lot cleaner, neater, faster. There's no need to be dragging wires through the whole building. Just connect two devices. It's a seamless way of connecting everybody in the office. Then we have LANs, WANs, MANs. The LAN is a local area network, WAN is a wide area network, and MAN is a metropolitan area network. Now, as we go from LAN, WAN, and MAN, they're getting bigger and bigger to allow for more people to be able to connect to them. The Internet of Things is a lot based around devices and smart devices being able to take in information from their surroundings and then re-implement that data across the internet into an analytics version. So we can analyze the data and then be able to redistribute the data back out into the world and see how we can advance in the certain areas that we are measuring. As we go on to talk about computer systems, now this image used is from my course I did before college. This computer is running Windows and this computer is running Ubuntu, and I had to connect both of them to the router and then use this sheet to record any data that I got from the router. Now, in the computer systems course, it's a lot like that. There's PC building. It'll take you a lot through the computer components themselves. It'll take you through security and device, proper maintenance, firewalls, installation of a wide range of services, softwares, operating systems. And a lot of that information that you'll take in from that module will be really helpful in the area of IT, and it'll help you gain a job and probably a better understanding of it overall, honestly. As we move on to interface electronics, we have the breadboard, and then the breadboard sits on a function generator. The function generator allows us to be able to plug components into the breadboard, and then we can measure and change function properties and power supply via these knobs and switches. And that'll allow us to see if our circuits, in theory, work in practice. basically, we'll go through all that in this course, in this class, talking about components such as transistors, LEDs, capacitors, diodes, etc. We'll use the oscilloscope for measuring them, as I was saying, the function generator and the breadboards. As we move on, we're going to move on to the software development. Now, in software development, we use a software called Eclipse. And Eclipse allows us to create our own software and our lines of software, and it allows us to implement them in such a way that when they're all in the correct order, we'll be able to use it as a system or an application, for example, or even when we're working with circuit boards. This software could be used on the circuit boards that we are working on in order to create a sort of connection between both the software itself and the hardware. And it allows for almost like a firmware, if you will. In this class, we'll talk about arrays, mainly public voids, for while loops, do while loops. System.outprint is a very commonly used line of code. Scanner equals new scanner. System.in is another one. This is when you're implementing a scanner for some text or for code to be transferred throughout your topic. So as we're moving on, we'll move on to electronics workshops. Now in electronics workshops, one of the more enjoyable modules for myself, as I am pretty good with the circuits, I understand them a lot more. This first image is a LED flasher, and it actually changed LEDs on and off. So it went red, yellow, etc. And that was all done with the measurement of the resistors, cutting power, and the capacitors discharge and then recharging. Then we moved on to something a lot more complicated, the Arduino board, and this allows for a lot more functions. We have buttons, analogs, LED, we have a display, we have an LDR. In the front, we have an infrared sensor, we have a speaker, a lot more components, wires, just to connect everything up. And we had to solder each one of these components individually. Now, in this class, you will do a lot of soldering, like I was saying. You'll see a lot of the infrared controls, motor controls, etc. Lastly, I'll bring you into the contact information. So if you need to get in contact with me, my email address is here. It's jessegowan@gmail.com. My phone number is 089-494-4289. And if you'd like to subscribe, you can head back to the original page and subscribe to the blog at the very bottom. And that'll let you know if there's any further updates to the blog in the future. Thank you for listening, and that's it for today.